What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tony Reads. So in today's video, I just want to talk to you guys about some books that I've read lately. Summer has been sizzling hot. In particular, August. I don't know what's gotten into me, but I'm literally on my 4th book in August. I'm not really that slow of a reader unless I'm kind of like in a slump or I'm not feeling the book. But at the same time, I'm not like one of those fast readers. So for me, 4 books, well actually it's like 3 and a possible that I'm going to finish in August. That's like a lot for me. So I'm just really excited. And the reason why I've been able to make this accomplishment is because the books that I have been reading in August have just been like fire for real. So in this video, this is my personal recommendations for you. You guys gotta read these books. They're all thrillers, of course. If you know me, that's basically all I read. I might try to drift into horror one day, but anyway, that's a whole different story. So let's get into it. So during this video, I'm going to have to probably refer to my notes. And the reason why I wanted to tell you guys and give you these recommendations so quickly, although they're like my August summer recommendations, but we're still in August, is because I'm the type of person that be like, oh my gosh, you got to read this book. This book was fire. This book was dope. It's all that, whatever. And then they'd be like, oh, really? They're like, so what's it about? I'd be like, So I want to tell you guys, I have to do it when it's still fresh in my mind, or literally I'll forget. And it doesn't mean the book is not as good as I'm saying or whatever. I just move on to the next. I really don't remember a whole lot about a book except that it was good. So let me get this started. So the first book is called Room for Rent and is by Noelle W. Ely. It's I-H-L-I. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I think it's Noelle West Ely or whatever. She goes by Noelle W. Whatever. But so this is an author that has been highly recommended to me from you guys, and also Freida McFadden has recommended at least one of her books, and that book was Ask for Andrea. I did read that book. I'm pretty positive one of my videos I did a review on it. The book was really good. It wasn't like my favorite book, but it was really good and enough for me to kind of read more from this author. So when I'm talking about a book, excuse me if I don't get the names right. I can't really remember. I have some chicken scratching my nose, but whatever. So the main character's name is Naya, and she's like a college-age woman, and she has a friend named Jade, and they ended up somehow or whatever they're like best friends, best friends, and they ended up I think Jade might have graduated from college already, and Naya still had one more year. And so Naya comes from a family that's I don't really want to say they're I don't really like to say this because it's a negative connotation, but they're really super religious. You can't do anything but go to church, that type. I'm Christian, but they're the type that you can't do it. She didn't know any songs. She couldn't watch hardly any TV and all this kind of stuff. She had to wear skirts and all this kind of stuff. And so it was that type. And so she met this girl named Jade a long time ago or whatever. They became best friends. Jade's kind of showing her the way, introducing her to music, giving her some of her clothes and all that kind of stuff. So the parents finally softened up, or this is just some backstory on Naya. The parents finally softened up, and they maybe let her wear jeans or something like that. Anyway, she's in college now. She kind of does what she wants. So anyway, she's also very poor. This is literally her last I think semester of college. She's in nursing, trying to be a nurse or whatever, RN. And so she's really excited to get out, move away from this town in Idaho or whatever, start her life, make some money, do all that good stuff. So she has to find a place to live in I don't know if you all went to college or whatever, them apartments and stuff by campus, they're literally really expensive, and they jack them prices up because they know you don't have a choice and you have to pay. So she's looking, and so she finally, I think she put an ad out on, no, she didn't put an ad out. She didn't have a place. She was looking for somebody in some, a Craigslist kind of thing or something like that. And so somebody named Sydney had put a thing in saying they were looking for a roommate, whatever. It's in a house by the campus. So Naya answered the call and met this person, and she found out right at the very beginning that Sydney was actually a man. She was thinking as a woman. She didn't have any intention on living with a man. It really didn't matter, but that wasn't what her expectation was. So that was the first surprise. It was a man. He was dirty. He was grimy. He was stinky. He was sweaty. He had all these rashes on him. He was just super gross. When he answered the door, he just had his boxers on and no shirt or whatever, stains on his clothes. The house was filthy. But she really didn't have a choice. So the house had some nickname or whatever, coffin house. I don't really remember, but it has some kind of nickname, like because somebody, they say somebody died there, or whatever, or something like that. Anyway, it was creepy, whatever. So she didn't really have a choice. So she took, I guess the money was right or whatever. So she ended up taking the room. She had a room. She cleaned up the place a little bit or whatever. She didn't not have any dealings with this Sydney guy whatsoever. And they just both kind of did their own thing. She she found out that, well, okay, so anyway, she would notice things like some of her food would be gone or somebody ate out of it, nasty stuff like that. She would hear noises like she could feel like somebody's been in her room, noises in the walls and all that kind of stuff. Just creepy stuff was happening and whatever. So at school, she met some guy named, his name was Curtis. And they ended up becoming really good friends and basically started dating or whatever. And he was telling her like stuff that has happened at his house, and come to find out some guy named, she had noticed she was getting like mail or whatever, like hospital bills and stuff. And come find out some guy named Arlo had, Sydney had kicked him like in the gut or something really bad. He ended up having to go to the hospital and stay there for like a very long time and had all these hospital bills. So anyway, I don't do spoilers. Well, I'm not doing a spoiler today. But so anyway, just all this creepy stuff started happening, noise in the house. She could feel somebody's presence. It's even been to the point where she, in the dark in a room, she could feel somebody breathing in a room, and all this kind of creepy stuff just started happening and whatever. And so there's like literally a major twist at the end. Or not even like at the very end, like towards the end, and it kind of draws out to the very end. And needless to say, I'm just gonna say like this: I love this book. I love this book so much. When I'm telling you this, the summary I'm giving is not doing it any justice. It is literally a book like I couldn't put it down. I wanted to know what was happening. I wanted to know where all this creepiness was coming from and what it was going to tie into. I wanted to know like the Sydney person. That would be obviously, he's the dirty, creepy man that, lives in the house. Was he the bad person or whatever? Was he a good person or whatever the case may be? And it just really, it was a page turner. I really wanted to know what was going to happen and what was going to be the twist or twists with an S. And so, all I can say is it's good, and I highly recommend this book. This book this book makes me put Noelle West Ely as one of my favorite authors, up with Freida McFadden and Riley Sager. And actually, it goes Freida, Noelle, and Riley's under that now. She bumped Riley out of the second place. And so another thing, I like her style of writing. And if you're like me, and some people don't like this, but she just gets right to the point. She describes a lot of things like this, since the creepiness of the house and the filth and all that was very important to the story. She did spend time describing the smells and what it looked like and all that kind of stuff. But I like that because it really put me in a place where I really could understand the grossness of the house and of that man or whatever. But she didn't do it so much to the point where I got bored. So anyway, it was it's an easy read, but it's not like just you'll figure out everything or anything like that. It's a really, really good book, Room for Rent. So being that I was so pleased with Noelle's book, Room for Rent, I decided to try another book by her, and it's called Run on Red, I think. Yeah, Run on Red. And this one actually, one of you guys, or at least one of you, actually recommended this book to me. And this one was good too. I think I like Room for Rent better, but this one was like a really, really good book as well, and I do recommend it. So how the book takes place, there's two friends, Olivia and Laura, I believe the other one's name is, and then Laura has a sister named Tish who's like back at home. She's like a bookworm studying for a test or something like that. They're college age. Yeah, they're college age. And so Laura and Olivia, I might have the names backwards or whatever. But anyway, they're driving up to like some kind of bonfire or whatever. They're college age as well. And so they're in the middle of like nowhere. And these towns, I think it's like Idaho or something, like these backwoods or something like that. Like they're driving down this street, dark, nothing but trees, no cars hardly coming by them or whatever. And the book literally starts off with action, like somebody's following them. And so, they're thinking, let me just pull over. This person wants to pass or whatever. The person doesn't pass. They keep following them. They try to flag somebody down. All this drama is happening on the street. So you might be thinking, I don't want to just read a book where they're just driving and somebody's following the whole time. It does not stop right there. Actually, the person or persons ends up driving them driving them off the road, and they end up crashing. Their car is no good anymore, so they kind of have to like fend for themselves. And so they're like out in the sticks by a river and just all this craziness. And this one had just major drama, major action, heart pumping. Like when you're sitting there, I like books where I'm sitting there like, run, or go do this, do that. I like to have it like action packed. I like the psychological stuff too, but sometimes I like to like really read something that has like a lot of action in it. And this book did. There's other characters and story. I'm not really going to get all into that, but I'll just put it this way. There's a huge plot twist at the end. This one didn't have a lot of characters in it, so you may or may not be able to figure it out. But even if you take a guess, you won't know the full plot. There's no way you can know that. But it's still, no matter what, it's like a really good book. Like there's dead corpses, all kinds of nasty smells, that kind of stuff, people being trapped somewhere, and all kinds of stuff like that, stuff that I love. So this also was a really good book. I still like Room for Rent better than this one, but this one, Run on Red, was also really, really good. Okay, so after I was like, okay, I done read 2 Noel books in a row. Now I want to move on to something else. And I'm trying to really like try to step outside the box now and not just read Freida McFadden books. And so next I found a book. It's probably just something that just popped up on my Kindle or on Amazon or something while I was looking for something else. And it is called The Realtor. And it is by Sonia Bateman. I never heard of this author. I don't think any of you guys ever recommended her to me or anything like that. I was like, just let me take a chance. The book is not that long or whatever. All these books I read on my Kindle. It's not that long. Let me just take a chance and try something different. And let me tell you, I was not disappointed. So there's kind of a lot of characters in this story, so I'm not gonna have the names right at all. I just tell you the main character's name is Celine. And she has a past, and they keep like bringing it up in the book, but they don't tell you exactly everything what it is. But anyway, some people from her past have died, and one was supposed to have been like a parent suicide or whatever. So just like kind of like thinking, okay, was that really a suicide or whatever? One Celine actually feels guilty of, but there's like a twist to that more towards the end. But anyway, so she has like a 4-year-old daughter. She's dropping her off at school, and she sees some lady dressed like in a robe just standing there like in the schoolyard or whatever. She thought that was kind of weird. And they come to find out, okay, so Celine is the main character and she's the one that's the realtor. Come to find out, this lady that she saw in the robe actually wants to buy one of the houses that Celine's trying to sell. So of course she ain't gonna pass no money just because the lady's weird or whatever. So she sells it to her. It's like a house. Lady Hannah actually paid cash for it, and it was like, I don't remember, $400,000 or something like that. And so she has like a lot of money and all this kind of stuff. And the lady's just weird. She keeps popping up. Hannah keeps popping up everywhere Celine goes. Every time she looks around, Hannah's popping up. And it even got so bad that Hannah even popped up at her office, Celine's office, and decided that she wanted to start selling houses and all that kind of stuff. So that's a creepy part right there. Celine also has her best friend. Her name is Jill. There's other people in the story, and there's this whole, what it's all centered around is Celine's ex-boyfriend Brad is like, he's been in a coma for 5 years, and he literally wakes up in the beginning towards, at the beginning of the book, and he doesn't, of course he's been asleep for 5 years or whatever, so he doesn't know what's going on, all this stuff that's happened or whatever. And Celine still kind of likes him, but he's like this player, and he had all these different girlfriends back in college, and he used them and all this kind of stuff. And so it just has you kind of like thinking, does he have something to do with the murders or whatever, or it's like some jealous ex-girlfriend or what's going on. I wouldn't say this book, it was really good. And I'm glad I kind of ventured off into somebody that I wasn't familiar with. So it's good to have something different. It wasn't like creepy, nothing scary. I would say if there was a Lifetime movie of books, if there's Lifetime movie genre of books or whatever, this would be that type. It is a thriller, and I would say it's like a psychological thriller, but it's not like, it doesn't have the creepiness in it like other thrillers that I'm used to and that I've read. People do get killed, and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing like gross in it or anything like that. So if you're the type of it doesn't matter. I don't care if it's gross or not, but like the other books that I just talked about, they're way more dirtier, filthy, creepy, scary kind of like. And this one wasn't that. It's more like just kind of a Lifetime movie drama, but it still was good, and I actually really liked it. I do recommend it, but it's not as good as Noelle Ely's books to me. But Sonia Bateman, she has other books too that I'm going to check out, and I do recommend you check this author out as well. So I am currently reading another book, and it is called The Roommate. And if you guys can't tell, I kind of like books about roommates and stuff like that. I like domestic like thrillers. I like all kinds of thrillers, but I do like actually the name The Roommate is what attracted me to the book. And I kind of read the summary and I was like, okay, this sounds really good. And it actually is really good. I'm only like halfway through. I have no idea what the plot twist is going to be or anything. I don't even have really any guesses. But I'll let you guys know about that book, what my thoughts are on that when I finish and do another review. But anyway, as usual, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Thumbs up if you like this video. If you've read any of the books that I talked about, let me know what your thoughts are. And also, if you've read other books from Noelle Ely or Sonia Bateman, let me know what those are and what your thoughts are on those as well. Also, continue to give me thriller authors' names and continue to give me thriller book recommendations as well. I am trying to branch out and just not do the same old I don't even Freida McFadden and all those kind of, I want to kind of branch out and do some other things because there are other good books out there that are not like in the mainstream. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.